dog breed info project uses a structure of information about the different breeds of the dogs, and that structure type is then used for instances of a list collection. The data itself is read in from a data file using a stream reader with readline and string.split to split the different records into the separate fields. We also incorporate a user control that shows the various ratings for each breed. We'll use language integrated query to view the breeds by group as well as to sort the dogs by different attributes. And we incorporate a menu system. The AKC recognizes a lot of different breeds of dogs. They show them by different groups. There's a herding group, hound group, non-sporting, sporting, terrier, toy, and working group. So if we choose the hound group, we will see the dogs that are part of the hound group. Likewise, if we can view this by the working group. If I click on any dog, I will see information about the dog, what group it's in, its popularity ranking, some brief info about the breed itself, maybe its history, and then we see how tall it is and how heavy it is in height in inches and weight in pounds, and then some rankings in terms of its grooming frequency, the amount of shedding, energy level, its trainability, and its demeanor. I can also sort the dog's popularity, and that's within the group, grooming frequency, energy level, trainability, and the demeanor. And again, on each of these, I can click a dog and read more about it. I want to get back to the alphabetical list of breeds, sort by breed. And I can view all breeds at once. Here are the formal written instructions for this project and how it aligns to our course. In this project, we're going to again use a stream reader to read in data, place that data into a structure using readline and split methods. We'll incorporate a menu that will allow us to use link language integrated query to view the dogs by their group as well as sort them by various attributes. Screenshot, we've already seen the project running. The assignment. Now the TenSegment user control we created in an earlier lesson on custom controls. It was part 2 that we created that TenSegment user. We're going to incorporate it into this project. I give you the GUI interface of how I named things and show you the menu structure. Give you some tips on coding. Here is the structure that I use. There's a lot of information about each dog. So we'll put that into a structure. We'll make it much easier for us to manage that information as well as to maintain a list of all the different dogs with their attributes. I give you the code to read the dog information in as well as selecting each dog from the list and displaying its information. Here's my code for reading the dog info in using a stream reader, using split, and then populating the structure instance with the data from the array that the split values go into. I did a routine to show all the dogs. Then I coded the various menu item handlers to show the group. Sort by the breed, and then sorting by other attributes such as popularity, grooming, shedding, energy, trainability, and demeanor. In essence, I give you all the code here, and this is a bigger project. You're welcome to look over my shoulder and follow my code review, which will come shortly. But if you want to try this on your own, I'd say go for it. It's great practice. Here then is the storyboard for you to focus on. And if you name things the way I named them, it will make it easy to follow my code review if you want to just follow along with me. I import the system.io class so we can use the stream reader to read our data file. For the class level variables, I start with the structure, which I named dog. It has 21 fields. These are primarily strings and integers. And then I have a list of type dog named dogs. It's going to be a new list of type dog. That's going to be my master list of all the dogs. And then I also have a subset of that called dogs displayed as new list of type dog. This will be what's displayed in the list box on the left-hand side of my application. And sometimes it'll display all the dogs, and sometimes it'll display just the dogs of a particular group, such as the toy group or the working group. And then I have my event handlers. The first one is form load. When we load the form, it's going to call read dog info and bring the information from the data file into our application. We'll look at that here in a second. The show breed info is responding to the list box with its selected index being changed. And there we're simply going to get the index value and then use that to show the various information about the breed that was selected in the labels on the right-hand side, as well as in those TenSegment controls in terms of the scale value and the comment. The exit app menu handler simply confirms they want to exit. If they do, it calls me.close. There's a menu for show all breeds, and we're going to call the show all method. And then showing the different groups, whether it's herding, hound, sporting, non-sporting, toy, terrier, or working, we can use the same handler. We're going to get the item that was chosen as sender, the text. We're going to replace the ampersand with a null string, so we get rid of that ampersand. So it's just the name of the group. We're going to use link to select a subset from all the dogs. So dim results equals from D as dog, that's my data type, in dogs. I'm going to go through all of my dogs, where D.group equals my group. So where the group field is equal to the group that we selected from the menu item, we're going to select that. So we have to select D, but along the way we're going to order it by breed. We're going to list them alphabetically in our selection. And then we'll go through the results for each D in results. We're going to add dog to dogs displayed, and we're going to add the items, and we're going to add that also to our list. Now, I mentioned earlier in a video that the list.clear wasn't working for me, and for whatever reason it worked fine for me here. There was no difference in how I approached this, so I'm not sure about that. If you have problems, go back and watch that video where I also removed the first item in addition to adding the next item. LBL now showing .text equals my group. And we're going to also put below that how it's sorted. Sorted in this case by breed A through Z. Here's the menu item to sort by breed. So again, we're going to clear that list of breeds. Now here's an example where the dogs displayed.clear did not work for me. So in the for each loop, I did remove the first element each time through the loop and added the new element at the end. And after that loop has completed, we will have removed all of the former elements and added all the new elements in the order that we want them. And as I'm going through that, I'm going to add each dog to the LST breeds list box. And then I'll show in the LBL sorted by.text that these are sorted by breed A through Z. The menu to sort by popularity is really no different, except I am ordering this by popularity in the link, and the LBL sorted by.text is sorted by AKC popularity. Same with the grooming, just changing the order by, so it's D.groom, so order by D.groom frequency, and again, changing the sorted by text. Shedding, ordering by D.shedding, setting the LBL sorted by text property. Now in the energy, I do something a little bit different. I'm ordering by D.energy level, but I added the keyword descending. So I wanted to go from the highest level down to the lower level. And then of course, once again, changed LBL sorted by. Trainability is also descending, so D.trainability val. As is the demeanor, so ordered by D.demeanor val descending. Now here's my support functions. I want to show you one thing. When I do longer projects, what I typically do is create all my class level variables at the top, and I do a little header there of comments. And then all my event handlers and then those event handlers that are referencing any functions or subprocedures, I list those as support functions and subprocedures. These are not handling an event. Here's that read dog info. We're going to create a file name as a string of the file name. It's akcdogs3 tab.txt. Provided that file in the Canvas course site. We're going to set up a stream reader as SR. We're going to open our file. And I created a new dog variable as dog, so an instance of type dog. And then I read in the first line. The first line of my text file is a header file. It tells me what each of those different fields are. I want to ignore that, so I'm reading the first line, not do anything with it. Then I dimmed fields as an array with 21 elements as a string array. And then I have a loop. Do while not sr.end of stream. We haven't reached the end of the file, we'll keep going. Next line equals sr.readline. If that line is less than 100 characters, I'll exit my do loop. Now I'm probably going to make that a lot less than 100. Maybe this should be 50. What I'm compensating for here is any blank lines at the end of the data file. The data records are pretty long in and of themselves. Fields equals next line dot split. I'm splitting on the tab. These are tab delimited. And then I'm going to take those fields, that field array, and take each of the elements of that. In most cases, I trim it, and then in some cases, I convert that to an integer for popularity, minimum height, maximum height, and so forth. But I'm populating that new dog instance with the data from the fields array that we just read in from that line. And there's quite a few fields there. When that loop is done, I'm going to call the show all method that we'll see in just a minute. And I'm going to make sure I close my stream reader. Here is that show all method. I'm clearing dogs displayed, clearing the list box items, and then for each pup as dog in dogs, because I'm showing all the dogs, I'm going to my master list, dogs displayed.add pup, and lst breeds.items. This is my items list of my list box. I'm going to add pup.breed there. And then set the LBL now showing.text property. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Programming Practicum playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos I create, you can click my picture in the top right to subscribe to the channel.